Looking to improve your skills? Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and visit our website jujitsupedia.com for thousands of videos in judo, jiu-jitsu, and wrestling, all levels beginner to advanced. Okay guys, so we're going to look at proper hand position and side control, and there's not one set position I could have my hands in side control. It really depends on the position my opponent's in. And as you're training and as you're going for one escape, oftentimes people are going to change their body configuration in order to deal with your hand placement, and it's going to be important that you start switching as your partner moves so that you can escape. So we'll look at a couple standard positions. In cross-side, where my partner has a cross-face control. Now this arm is really important, so I really want to make sure that I keep my elbow 90 degrees and I try to block right here on the hip. Okay, so if I let my arm bend in and Danielle switches her hips and puts weight on my arm, the other way, that's going to trap my arm. It's going to put a lot of uncomfortable weight on my arm. Okay, so I want to try to keep this arm really rigid here so that I can keep this hip from moving over my head. Okay, so it's important that this arm is really tight and in. Okay, my left arm, my outside arm, can be in two different places. Okay, it can be on the inside, creating this almost thumb block frame under the armpit, or I could be on the outside. And the purpose of being on the outside is that I'm going to use a bridging motion to shift my partner's weight. So you can see how my partner's weight's on this side. As I bridge and extend my left arm, I can shift my partner's weight, create space, and start penetrating the knee in for my escape. There's times when you're going to feel like it's very difficult to move your partner, and you're going to swim your hand on the inside and connect your thumbs. This type of escape primarily is I'm going to use this to hold my partner, and I'm going to move myself underneath. So it doesn't matter how tight this crossface is, because I'm not turning into it and I'm not turning away. I'm popping my hips up and shooting straight down. And then from there I have options of going into arm locks or turning out to single leg escapes. Okay, so with a good position with my right arm, I can bridge to this side, create space to bring my leg in, connecting my knee and my elbow. Or I could pummel my hand to the inside and create a good frame with my thumb. From here, it's a straight back bump bridge, and then an extension of my arms, which extends my body down. And it helps me slip under this arm. So I don't want to turn into it. A lot of people make the mistake of trying to turn into it. I can't turn away from it because of this lock into my armpit. So I got to pop up, pop down. And then I can bring my legs in. I can escape to the side. I can start using my traditional side control escapes. Okay, so now the situation gets worse as this arm gets beat. Okay, so my partner's real tight on this arm. I want to be careful putting my forearm here, because this is how you're going to get head and arm choke, and also mounted there. So I can't put that arm across the face while this arm's beat, because I don't have the reinforcement of this arm. So it's really dangerous to start trying to just push away here. It's a really easy way to get your arm trapped and mounted. So I don't want to keep that arm here. I'm going to use this hand to bridge to create space to get this arm in first. So as I bridge, I'm going to straighten this arm and move my partner's head from this side to this side. Now my hips are up, and I move my hips back and I slip my elbow in. So now when we return, now I can bring the hand in because I have the reinforcement of this hand, and I can connect them. Or I can keep this hand on the outside, do the same motion to bring my knee in, and now I'm in a position where I can start escaping to the guard, or I can create the space to swim and start going for leg attacks, single legs, double legs, more of a wrestling escape. Or I can create the space to go into the armpit, slip underneath, and start bringing my legs in for arm lock, or coming up on the single one. Okay, so the other style of defense here is when your partner sits their hips through. Okay, so when the hips sit through, I have to keep this elbow on the mat. Okay, my right elbow. I cannot let it come up because then that leg's going to trap my arm. Okay, so I'm going to keep my right elbow really tight on the floor. From here, my other hand is going to catch and monitor this hand here. And I'm going to, if this hand's around my neck, I'm going to try to lift and bring my knee under the hips to take my partner back to the other side. Okay, for weight, defends that by sitting back a little bit. I push and I come up on my other arm. So now with this arm, I can push my partner back out of balance. Okay, a lot of times in response, your partner will square up, bring their knees down, and now I can spin back to my original guard position. Okay, so if you feel a sit through, most important is this elbow goes to the mat. And this hand comes across and catches that arm. Okay, with two hands on this arm, it's pretty easy for me to bring my arm back and start sitting up. If I'm not able to do that, I can start bringing my knee under and going off balance to this direction. Okay, and the combination sometimes gets your partner to go back to their knees, and that's good for me because then I can escape right to my guard. Okay, so that's how we deal with this kind of sit-through position. We're blocking the arm to this direction. Okay, if your partner goes back to the knees in this position and she doesn't have control of my head, I can go either way. I can go with my hips to the side, I can also block the neck to this side, and I could run out to this side. Because the fact that it's open, I can put my forearm here and I can spin out to that side. When you do that spin out, it's really important you step first with the bottom leg. And then I scissor so I can create a lot of space to get away. If I step over, I'm too close. And it's a good way to get your back taken. So I have to do a step scissor. Okay, step scissor first in order to get out. Okay, partners sit their hips through. Have those options of pushing up or tucking the knee in. And usually when the arm is around my neck, the legs are going to be lighter. And when the legs are heavier, the upper body's lighter and I could push back. Okay, the other scenario is this kind of over, your partner sits through here. This is a tough one to deal with. There's a lot of Kimuras here, so you got to make sure that your elbows tuck in on the inside here. And I can kind of control my partner against my own knees. Okay, I don't want my arm to get caught in this kind of a lock here. So it's important that you keep your hand either on the back of the neck or safest yet, you pummel under. So if I'm in normal side control and my arm's on this side and Danielle starts switching her hips to go to the other side, I need to pass my hand through, okay, for safety. I keep my hand through. Now, this is a tough position, but what I have to do is I have to pinch my partner towards this leg. Okay, and then I have to use my feet on the mat to take my partner this direction. Okay, so as I bring my partner to the side, they'll plant their hands on the mat, and that gives me an opportunity to slide out and bring my leg on the inside. Okay, so if you're in this sit-through position, what I can't let my partner slide up under my arm. So if this happens, I'm in a lot of trouble. Okay, I have some pretty limited options at that point. If I can keep my elbows in and use my lower body, I can start moving my partner side to side. I then put this thumb block right here behind the armpit, and I start sitting up on my arm, and I use my hip escape motion in this frame to slide my knees back to the inside. Now I'm back to the butterfly guard. Okay, so that's a couple options you can deal with as far as hand positions when you're in side control. And realize your partner that's experienced is going to constantly switch their body position. So once they feel you block them out, they're going to switch. So your goal is to, right when you get a good favorable hand position, you have to start your defense right away. And as your partner switches, you have to be constantly switching your hands. You can't just find like a sedentary spot with your hands and keep them there the whole time. All right, cut. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and please go to our website, jujitsupd.com, where there's thousands of videos in judo, jiu-jitsu, and wrestling, and plenty of curriculums for you to learn from.